We are celebrating 300 episodes of Grey's Anatomy, a little bit of TV history, because that don't happen. I mean, if you are lucky enough to win the lottery and land on a series, you wish, pray, hope for like 100 episodes is the equivalent of winning the lottery. 300 is like planning on being a billionaire. You just can't do that. Like, that's not even something you think about. It's a great show. Like, I remember when my wife first showed me the show, long before I was ever on it, I was like, I need to be on that show. And there's only a handful of shows that you actually have that sensation about, because like the writing is so strong, the actors are so strong, and I wanted to be on it. So like good television that lasts a long time, and then the other part is that it's television that's changed the way television looks. I mean, television. This show made the rest of television start to change up how they do things to look more like America. TV started to change up how they cast shows because of this show. And then you started having more diversity and inclusivity, and next thing you know, people started seeing themselves on TV a lot more. People, my wife's East Indian. She sees herself on TV more now than she ever did when she was a little girl. I didn't see that many people that looked like me on TV. Certainly not playing doctors when I was a kid. So I'm incredibly thankful to Shonda and for showing people the light. I think the reason why it resonates so much is because it's so human. I mean, it really is. Some shows, sometimes when it's a drama, they lose the humor, and sometimes when it's a comedy, they lose the drama. Like, in the reality is real life has all of that stuff mixed into it, and nobody does it like Shonda does. Nobody does it like this show does, where they mix them together, and so they can go even deeper into the drama because they made you laugh a second ago. The show will turn around and laugh at itself. I mean, there's a moment, I think it was Sandra during the plane crash. I remember crying out loud, laughing at her talking about all the horrible things that has happened to her in the course of her life. In Meredith Grey, Ellen's had to play that a few times where she's like, what is wrong with me that all these things happen to me? And it's funny when we watch it on TV because, we've got 14 years of people coming up with the craziest things they can imagine. But we all feel like that. We all have those moments in life where you're like, why does all this crazy junk happen to me? Why are all my friends that I love so crazy? I think those things resonate. The relationships between people, both the friendships and the loving relationships, I think people see either the ones they have in their life or the ones they wish they had in their life. We've had tremendous number of people come to us. I've had people tell me that they went to nursing school because of the show. They went to become a doctor because of the show. I've had people tell me that they were doctors and they started watching the show, fell in love with it. And I was like, I know you're going to tell us some of the things that we might do wrong. They said, I love it. They said, I love it. They said, because we're not capturing the facts of, surgeries take like 5 hours and it's a 44-minute program with commercials out, so it's like, they know that they're capturing this. What the doctor told me that time was, they said, you capture how it feels to be a doctor when you save a life or when you lose somebody, how hard that hits you. And that meant something to me. So those kind of conversations, when you get people who go into the field because of what this show did or are in the field and it resonates with them, that's a cool thing. None of my kids were born when this show started, and they're older now, and I got a teenager, and I got some, younger kids. And when this show is possibly the first thing besides a tweener movie that I did that they liked when they were 4. This is the first time that I was cool. That a TV show I was doing actually meant something because so many of their friends watch it and that sort of thing. And so they try and play it off like, that's my dad, but their friends are like, your dad's on Grey's Anatomy? And they're like, yeah, and I see the look in their eyes where they're like, there's a little moment of pride, but then they got to play it off because, dad's not cool, so they can't really go into it. But that was a cool moment where, like, when I saw my kids getting a little bit of street cred because their dad was on Grey's Anatomy, that felt all right.